Enzo Fernández, Moises Caicedo, Chelsea's dynamic duo in midfield.
Fernández! Oh, how about that on the volley for 1-1, Moises Caicedo!
The new Lampard and Makelele. When the two initially arrived at Stamford Bridge for huge transfer fees, it felt like disaster waiting to happen.
That is a major reason why you're paying 115 million for a guy who you're not looking to score and not looking to assist.
Caicedo's debut couldn't have gone worse.
It's a poor, lazy challenge. He can't believe it.
Moises Caicedo comes on and has a rather rough debut.
The start to his Chelsea career was so bad that even Jurgen Klopp joked that Liverpool were lucky to miss out on him.
Here between us, I can say, my God, were we lucky.
On the other hand, Enzo had arrived a year earlier, right in the middle of Chelsea's messiest season in years. Loss after loss, a revolving door of managers. Graphics were being made to show that Chelsea were actually better without Enzo on the pitch.
Enzo Fernández, £100 million or 100 million plus. I need someone to tell me, and I know the argument will be someone will phone up or message in and go, he's won the World Cup. But you tell me what he does well.
Then after Copa America, things got even worse.
While celebrating on the team bus, Fernández went on Instagram Live, where him and some of his teammates can be seen chanting about players from the French national team. The chant mocks French black players for having parents of African heritage, but playing for France.
Now, he apologised immediately to the rest of the Chelsea players.
For a while, both looked like flops.
They don't influence, they don't gravitate as much as you would like.
Everyone thought that Chelsea had broken the bank for nothing.
Caicedo and Fernández, you wouldn't pay 100 million for the two of them right now.
But that's the thing about football, it changes fast. Today, those same £100 million signings look like bargains. Two South American warriors who have dragged Chelsea back to the top. And you know what's the most incredible part? Their story, the ups, the downs, are almost identical. Let's start with Enzo. The Argentinian arrived at Chelsea with massive expectations.
With Enzo Fernández, Gab, what a big signing that is, certainly financially.
Now that wasn't just because of the huge fee that was paid for him. It's also because the world saw what he could do. Enzo had just won the World Cup as the young player of the tournament. He had initially been on the bench, but after the performance he put on against Mexico, he became a locked-on starter.
Sweet feet, wonderful goal! Enzo Fernández with a peach! And Argentina now surely out of reach.
People knew he was talented because of how well he had played at Benfica, but now the whole world had seen him ball out. Now, as good as he was though, Chelsea were still taking a massive risk because he hadn't actually played that many top flight games before his move. He had played only half a season with Benfica, and the World Cup, as prestigious as it is, was only 7 games to judge him. I know the Ronaldo fans are going to love that one. No, the World Cup is not only a 7-game tournament. I'm just saying it was only 7 games to watch Enzo perform. But the thing is, the qualities that he was showing were too good to ignore. Look at the goal he had scored in his debut for Benfica. Then he scored in a 4-0 win in the league and scored in the second leg of the same Champions League qualifying match. He was named the Primera Liga's Midfielder of the Month for August, October, and November. It's not just the goals that were impressive, but also the way that he controlled the midfield. You would think you were watching a central midfielder in his early to mid-30s, not a young guy just making his mark. He was so composed and played with a maturity that went beyond his years. The World Cup really showed that. Scaloni's decision to play Enzo with DePaul as a double pivot in the 4-4-2 was game-changing. Both could do a little bit of everything, but obviously Enzo was much better going forward. He was the one that could score bangers. He was the one that was threading the needle with his passes. You don't win the young player of the tournament by accident. At that time, at 21 years old, he was already playing like one of the best central midfielders in the world. He had more final third passes than Messi. He had the highest long pass completion out of all the Argentinian players. So naturally, when he arrived at Chelsea, there was a ton of hype. A British record transfer deal at the time, a World Cup winner, a player that every top club wanted.
He's shown that he can be a difference maker.
But the issue was that Enzo joined Chelsea at one of the most turbulent times in the club's history. There had been a change in ownership. They were buying a ton of players and also getting rid of a ton of players. At one point, if you guys remember, Chelsea had so many players that they couldn't all fit in the locker room. Think about it, the Chelsea team was so young and had so many players coming in and going that Enzo very quickly became one of the veterans, even though he had joined in 2023. Now, on top of joining a team in transition, Enzo also wasn't profiled correctly. People saw the goals at the World Cup and the transfer fee and just assumed this guy was going to carry Chelsea to glory all by himself from the middle of the park. That's just not possible. So automatically he was at a disadvantage.
I know you think that he plays sideways too much. I think he plays sideways a lot because there's just nothing around him. There's not enough movement.
Then the Chelsea managerial carousel began. Maresca is Enzo's fourth head coach at Chelsea. He played under Potter, Lampard, and then Pochettino. It's hard for you to play consistently at a high level when you're joining a new team, in a new country, in a new league, and then on top of that, your manager is being changed more than Lily Phillips' bedsheets. It also didn't help that Enzo was recovering from a groin injury in the 2024 season. He was reportedly playing through the pains as he was awaiting surgery on a hernia, which would explain why he looked off the pace. The other part of it is that Enzo was dealing with a lot of personal issues off the pitch. At one point, he had split up with his partner, who he has 2 young kids with. In September, he was banned from driving for 6 months. Then months earlier, he had to apologize for posting a video of himself singing a chant that many people found offensive as he celebrated with his Argentina teammates on the bus after their success at the Copa America. We sometimes forget these guys are humans. It's not career mode. They can't just turn off the stuff that's going on in their personal lives and then automatically perform on the pitch. Luckily for Enzo, Maresca came in and changed his life. Enzo helping Enzo. Enzo squared.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
The first thing the Italian did was respond to the chant incident. Enzo apologized to the team.
The player already did a statement, apologize. The club did the same. So there are not many things to add.
And was then made captain for the opening game against Manchester City. It showed just how much faith the Italian had in the Argentinian midfielder.
Enzo is one of the captain of this team. He's not the only one. We have Reece, we have some more captain there. And the reason why is because I can see that his teammates, they recognize him like a reference, like a captain.
And this also shows how Enzo is respected inside the squad, so I think it's quite clear.
Now, even under Maresca, the season was a bit bumpy at the start. At one point, Enzo was benched for 4 games in a row. The Italian was trying to find the right position for him. You see, all the previous managers saw Enzo as the successor to Jorginho. Now, while the Argentine is a great passer, he's not at his best as a 6. Yes, he can dictate the tempo, but by playing him deeper, you are missing out on his goal-scoring abilities. Maresca realized this, and actually identified Enzo as the only profile of player in the Chelsea team that could attack like an attacking midfielder, but could also defend. But while his versatility was great, it made it very difficult to find the right position for him. Because Palmer was balling in the attacking midfield spot, and Maresca preferred Caicedo and Lavia as the double pivots because they provided more physicality and strength.
I think in this moment, Romeo and Moi, they give us also physicality, strength in the middle.
Enzo can defend, but he's not a beast like those 2 other guys. And then on top of that, he's an attacking player. You know how these guys are. Sometimes they don't track back, sometimes they lose their man really easily. They're not itching to defend. But as time went by, Maresca began to find ways to insert him in. Whether it was playing Palmer on the wing, like we saw in the game against Benfica at the Club World Cup, or playing Caicedo as an inverted fullback, Enzo found a way to get the other Enzo into the starting lineup. By playing him further up the pitch, Chelsea were now able to take advantage of his forward runs into the box. Look at his goal against Leicester. That was something that the Blues had been working on in the training ground.
I'm trying to convince Enzo and all the attacking players that they have to arrive inside the box, and the reason why Enzo scored is because was inside the box.
The good form continued as he scored against Villa.
Fernandez can shoot, what a goal! Enzo Fernández!
And then Spurs.
Fernandez!
Look at where he was getting his touches in 2024 and compare that to the 2025 season. Under Maresca, Enzo was getting more of his touches higher up the pitch on the left-hand side. It's interesting though, because overall, he was touching the ball less. He averaged 66.3 touches per 90 minutes in the Premier League in 2025, which was down from the 86.9 touches per 90 he had in the 2024 season. This is a big drop-off, but it shows the change in role for him. He's not needed as much in the defensive third and in the middle third of the pitch when Chelsea are building out from the back. He is now only needed in the attacking third. That means he doesn't have to come deep to help progress the ball all the time. He can focus on finding pockets of space in the opposition area. Here he is against Forest, making an underlap run for Sancho to find. Here is him pressing higher up the pitch without the ball against Wolves. It's actually his tackle that leads directly to the Madueke goal. Then Chelsea don't make their comeback against Real Betis in the Conference League final if it wasn't for Enzo's forward runs into the box. This is what the Argentine can can do when he has the freedom to push further forward. He gives you another outlet in scoring. We saw it again at the Club World Cup when he scored against LAFC, a goal that was almost identical to the one he scored against Liverpool in the Premier League. In the Prem, he was involved in 13 goals, 6 goals and 7 assists. When you see what the Argentine looks like at his best, you understand why Maresca put so much faith in the captain. Even when he was getting criticized for benching Enzo, the Italian reiterated that he does have a role for the Argentinian midfielder.
He's not playing in this moment. We have so many games. He's going to play for sure in the future. Now he's not playing. That means that he's not going to play tomorrow in 2 days. And that means that Romeo and Moi, they are always going to play. Because in the moment that some of them drop,
I feel like giving Enzo the captaincy role was huge too. It showed trust from the manager in a time when Enzo had no confidence. You can see now from the way he's playing that he's playing free, with the creativity and finesse that Chelsea fans wanted to see as soon as he was signed. The team is far more balanced than when he first joined the club, and Maresca has a proper system that he's implemented, which makes life easier for all the players. Speaking about making life easier for everyone, we have to talk about Moises Caicedo. Caicedo's journey at Chelsea has been a bumpy one just like Enzo's. The drama started from the get-go when the Ecuadorian snubbed Liverpool to go to Chelsea.
He's a player that would have improved Liverpool, so the fact that we bid the money and, you know, they agreed the fees and he didn't want to come, I think that's disappointing, it really is.
Everyone thought he was going to go to Liverpool, but last minute, he changed his mind.
Moises Caicedo has rejected the chance to join Liverpool.
Given the price that was paid for him, there were doubts. Caicedo was still a player just proving himself. He hadn't been playing in Europe's top flight for that long, and this was proven by his horrific debut against West Ham. Given the money that was spent for him, and Chelsea struggling as a team, everyone went into panic mode, thinking that Brighton had pulled out another scam. But season by season, Caicedo's been getting better and better.
I think you can see his role now in the team. I think it fits him really well. I think he probably had to go through a period of where people are questioning the fee that people paid. So he's had to handle that very well, and I think he's done that really well.
He is getting a lot of praise now under Maresca because the team is winning, but he was actually pretty good under Pochettino as well, especially towards the back end of the 2024 season. I mean, the guy did score from the halfway line.
Oh, Moises Caicedo! I can't believe it! What a way to score your first Chelsea goal!
But there is no denying that under Maresca, he has hit another level.
Out of the entirety of those Premier League players, when it comes to tackling, Moises Caicedo is equal first.
And I think Mo is showing how good he is.
He's become irreplaceable, hence why he was named Chelsea's Player of the Season, and why he started every Premier League game. The amount of defensive work this man does is exceptional. Look at where he ranks in tackles, tackle win rate, ball recoveries, and interceptions. Now look at his heat map. He roams around the middle of the park, waiting to destroy midfielders. He stops counterattacks before they've even begun. Imagine receiving the ball in the middle of the park as a midfielder, and all you see is Caicedo's bald head running at you. His aggression and tenacity is desperately needed because this Chelsea team, they're young, they're technical, but at times they need a player that just gives them that edge. You need a player who has a bit of bite in his game, and boy does Caicedo have it. I actually think he's too good at crunching tackles, because even when he wins the ball, they call it a foul. The man is so versatile that Maresca even played him as a right back for some games. There is no other player in the squad even remotely capable of doing what Caicedo does as consistently well as he does it. It's his presence that allows Enzo and Palmer to push forward, and no matter where he's played, whether it's as a 6 or as a right back, he's just always there, cleaning up danger, starting attacks, and just making life easier for everyone around him. But he's so much more than just a defensive beast. He's great going forward. His spectacular goal against United, as well as his assist to Jackson, are moments that remind you this guy isn't just some aggressive shin kicker. He's the complete package as a midfielder. One of the things that's really helped Caicedo is that Maresca's system doesn't leave him isolated. At times under Poch, Caicedo was just standing alone in the middle of the park, like me when I get stood up on a date. He had to cover everything in the midfield all by himself. But the way Maresca's system works is that there's always someone next to Caicedo in the build-up. When Chelsea build out from the back, they're in this 3-2-4-1 shape. In this system, there's always someone next to Caicedo. Sometimes it's the fullback, sometimes it's a midfielder. This opens up extra passing lanes, meaning that when Caicedo does get the ball, he isn't just isolated in no man's land. Let's look at his assist to Jackson against West Ham. In this game, it was Cuckoo Cucurella who had inverted in. That's the player next to Caicedo. The focus is on him, so Caicedo goes in between the lines, finds a space between Rodriguez and Paqueta, then when he gets the ball, he plays a beautiful through ball into Jackson, who did something quite rare. He put the ball in the net. This was no fluke because Caicedo did the same thing against Liverpool. Once again, Chelsea are in this box midfield that Maresca likes to use. It's Lavia next to Caicedo. This time Gusto and Palmer are the ones ahead. Gusto drops to offer himself as a passing option, and the movement from him and Palmer helps stretch Liverpool's midfield to create space in the middle of the park. As Tosin plays the ball to Gusto, Caicedo begins to move forward. And because of the positioning of Palmer and Gusto stretching Jones and Gravenberch, and with Lavia occupying the center of the park, Gusto is able to find Caicedo between the lines. Caicedo then picks out Jackson's run behind the defense, and boom, goal. A lot of the stuff that he does goes under the radar for the casual fans, but for those around the club, they know just how important he is. He covers ground quickly like Conte.
A lot of players in the midfield, like Makelele or N'Golo Kante, they were my inspiration for me to support Chelsea.
But there's also flashes of Essien in him. Essien was also a super versatile and consistent performer for the Blues under Mourinho, and just like Caicedo, he would bang in a goal here and there. He was named Chelsea's Player of the Season in 2007, the same way Caicedo won the award in 2025. Now, I've glazed Caicedo enough, but there are still things he needs to work on. At times he can be too aggressive, too hungry for a tackle. But he's playing at such an elite level that nobody brings up his transfer fee anymore. And that's when you know you've made it, when your fee is never discussed. It's the same thing now with Enzo. They were both written off, they were laughed at, but the two of them did not fold under pressure. These are two guys that came from nothing, going from poverty to the bright lights of Stamford Bridge. They weren't gonna just listen to the outside noise. What once looked like two panic buys and a broken team has now become the foundation of a new Chelsea. Enzo has probably seen the biggest upgrade because the team he joined in 2023 is very different from the Chelsea team he plays on now. To see how good the team around him is now, you have to check out this video right here.